Good morning and welcome to the Core Connection. I'm Mira Rubin here with you on Enlightened World Network. And today's topic is the hollow bone. The clearer a channel we can be, the less impediments that we create for life to flow through us, the more truly expressed we really are. So it's an interesting sort of paradox, and we'll be discussing that today. But meantime, good morning, Rosalind. Welcome. It's great to have you here with us this morning. And welcome to everybody else who's joining us. And before we get started, let's take a minute or two to get present. So let's take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it. And imagine clean, crisp oxygen flooding your lungs, flowing into your bloodstream, nourishing all your cells, all your organs, bringing vital life energy to your body and being. And as you exhale any tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's take another deep breath in through your nose and hold it. This time, imagine brilliant, bright light lighting you up from the inside out, illuminating, electrifying, and energizing all your cells, all your molecules, your electrons, creating a brilliant beam of light and energy from your heart out into the world. And as you exhale any remaining tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's press our palms together, vigorously rub your hands together to feel the friction, the temperature, the pressure, the motion, all those sensations, including the tickling and tingling when you stop. And allow all of those sensations to bring you present right here, right now, into this remarkable physical form that enables you to experience life. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So the hollow bone, we've talked about this before. I love this saying. It was introduced to me by a friend who told me that it is from indigenous people tradition. And I don't know a whole lot more about it, but it's just such an iconic image. And in my mind, what I imagine is that our lives and our experiences are shaping this bone, or refining the bone, the container or the vessel through which life flows. And all of our beliefs and our patterns and our programmed behaviors are what's filling that bone, and that's making it hard for life to just flow through it. And as we grow and evolve and develop and heal and expand ourselves, we're creating more and more space within that hollow bone for life to just flow through unimpeded and to become our greatest expression. And so I think this is a great expression of the paradox that in order to become who we came here to be, we must first let go of who we believe ourselves to be. And because typically the beliefs that we have about ourselves are very limiting, even sometimes the ones we think are positive. Like, let's say somebody had a belief like, I'm a super achiever. Well, what happens if they are then not doing all the things that they had been doing, and their identity was as a super achiever? Then there's a whole bunch of story and self-judgment, perhaps, about not fulfilling their expectations of who they are. So all of these things are impeding us from being in the moment and being present to life and its calling. So another thing that I've been playing with is this notion that our gifts are not ours to have. They feed us. We love them. We enjoy doing the things that we are gifted to do. However, the those gifts are ours to give. So we're given those gifts, we're given those passions about the things that we're passionate about so that we can then bring them forward into the world and express them. So this conversation comes from a conversation that I had with one of my clients who is a profoundly gifted teacher of children and way beyond that, but really is a light bringer and works with children. And this person creates curriculum, and when they are with the children, they just are essentially allowing life to flow through them. They're kind of channeling this energy of light and love and being in a dance, in a dynamic, responsive dance with the needs of the moment, really deep listening into what is the moment calling forth from them. And it was so interesting because we were able to identify that the phenomena, I guess we could say, that when they were trying to do this, when they were thinking it through, when they were trying to orchestrate it, it didn't flow in nearly the same way. It didn't have the magic that it had. It caused stress and strain for them. They could do it, they could perform well, but it didn't have the essential energy that was there when they just get out of the way. And so what I notice is that so many of us have these wonderful gifts, and there are dynamics around them where sometimes we're apologetic about them, sometimes we try to deny them, sometimes we don't want to express our gifts because it'll make it, because we feel guilty that other people don't have the same abilities, or there are all these different dynamics around it. And then there's sometimes where we believe that whatever our gift is something that everybody has, which isn't true typically. So it's a way of denying our own gifts or denying our almost our responsibility to bring that gift forward into the world, without ego, but like to be the vessel for the expression, for life expressing that aspect, that element. I don't know if the nuance of that is coming across. When we get egotistical about our gifts, that's when they start getting twisty, and we start getting twisted up. When we recognize that we're in service to those gifts, that that's part of our reason for being here, is to be sharing those gifts, that it's almost like it's, I guess sharing is maybe even the wrong word, but being the vehicle for the expression of those gifts, because sharing those gifts, it makes it sound like we own them, whereas we're just borrowing them, we're being the vehicle for them. At least that's what I play with these days. And I notice that it gives me so much more freedom in in life where I can just allow, like, get out of the way and allow what comes through to come through. This is what happens when we create, when we are creative. I think creativity is typically not generated from trying to figure things out, but kind of getting into this collaboration with life where we are allowing inspiration to move through. And creativity shows up in all different ways. I was thinking of calling today's conversation creativity, but I think that the hollow bone kind of gets to the essence of it more directly. That dancing with life is really what makes life so much more joyful. I had another wonderful conversation with another client yesterday. We were talking about values, primary values, and their top values were fun and playfulness. Those were top two initially. And as we were talking more and more, I thought this was really, really interesting and beautiful. From their religious background, the assumption, the foundational principle is that all of life is good. All of the world is good. And it's challenging, obviously, in the face of what we see happening in the world to hold that kind of belief. But what was amazing is that their expression of fun is to find a difficult situation, or in a difficult situation, find a way to bring light to that situation, find a way to transform that into something fun or playful, even in the darkest situations. And one of the examples, and I don't know the name of this movie, but one of the examples they gave was a movie about a grandfather and granddaughter. And it was during the Holocaust, and the grandfather made a game out of hiding, and how they had to navigate in the world. As far as I understand, I don't know the movie, but even in the darkest place, to be bringing light into that place. And it was very interesting because I said that for most of my life, fun wasn't on my radar. Joy wasn't in my vocabulary, really. And I was very, very serious, and life was very serious. And the playfulness aspect wasn't really there in my foundational kind of values. It didn't even get on the radar. And that previously I had viewed fun as frivolous. And it was beautiful in this conversation to have it articulated that, in fact, for this person, fun was an expression of the goodness of life. It was like a ministry for them, that it wasn't in any way frivolous. It was an expression, like an action that was embodying their deep felt spirituality. And I thought this was just so magnificent, because it, for them, well, and it opened up a new dimension of fun for me, or thinking about fun. It was about embodying and receiving and expressing the vitality of life, the joyfulness in life, the essence of life, the goodness of life, and bringing that present. So what we discovered was, for me, super high values are wonder and awe, and there was a big overlap in our conceptions of wonder and awe and fun. So, like, fun was really just being present, not just, was being present to the magic and wonder that's all around us, and bringing that forward, and expressing and harnessing and directing that um, vitality. Um, so I thought, wow, this is a really, really beautiful way to be engaging with life, to be looking for that fun or that magic or that awe, that wonder, the curiosity. We talk about those things. I just really hadn't put them under the umbrella of fun. Good morning, and good evening, Gia. Welcome. It's great to have you here with us this morning. So, we're talking about being the hollow bone. And part of being the hollow bone, we're looking at expression of life and vitality, and inspiration and creativity, as we get out of the way, as we get our beliefs and our ideas out of the way, we leave room for more things to come through in a dynamic interplay with life itself. And um, we can better be present to the magic or the wonder or the fun, the creativity, the inspiration, as we allow ourselves to become less attached to how we think things are, and how we think things should be, and who we think we are, um, in order to be able to be present to the grander scheme of what truly is. Um, I'm thinking of this also in context of our thoughts about the conflicts that are taking place in the world, the wars, and this notion of choosing sides. And when we become the hollow bone, it allows us to go beyond this is right, this is wrong, um, choosing sides, black and white. It allows us to go to a different dimension of thought and awareness and presence. And it allows us to choose not from those two choices, but to find other possibilities, like unity, like peace, like harmony. It allows us to, when we release ourselves from the constraints of the polarities that define so much of our lives and our culture, then we have the potential to be accessing a broader view. So if we raise up here we are on one level, we're black and white, we're right and wrong, we're good and bad, we're um, just and unjust or whatever, and here are all these polarities, and there's this horrible clashing all the time. And yet if we rise up higher, we can see the whole thing, that there is something broader, like there's not two, there's the whatever there is that's encompassing that those two, that is a unifier. And as we become the hollow bone, we have a greater access. That is what provides us access to that other perspective. It's not chocolate or vanilla, it's maybe something other than ice cream, even, for example. So it's a matter of us being willing to get out of the way, to get. So this was another conversation, which was pretty awesome, where in this idea of sharing the gifts and being able to get out of the way so that they flow more readily, it was like there was a separation between heart and mind. And we came up with, well, what if they were connected? What if they were collaborating? What if it wasn't heart or mind, but heart and mind? And this person had this wonderful vision of this energy swirling up from heart to heart to mind, and just creating this wonderful energetic connection between the two, where there was a greater sense of wholeness and balance and connection. And I think it's very interesting, because one of these people was talking about how they were very much committed to logic. And my experience of our culture and this drive toward logic is that it has in so many ways separated ourselves, or we have used it to separate ourselves from our own humanity and our emotions and our sense of connection and our true humanity, which maybe transcends self-interest a lot of times. And to be able to reconnect heart and mind, to create the collaboration between heart and mind, to create a collaboration between our being and the universe, that we are an expression of that universe, we are an expression of that life, is a very liberating, profoundly liberating experience. To be life in its expression, rather than to be trying to survive or fight or acquire or whatever, that when we're an expression of life, it's a different tone of being. I invite you to just explore it. It's not that I know it. I am growing more into it, and deepening the experience of it for myself. And I am finding it so rich. And I invite you to not try, but try it on, and just experiment to notice what might be different. It's like the pressure just gets lifted. The level of self-acceptance and compassion for self and others expands. It's just really quite remarkable. So the hollow bone, that's it for today. I'm Mira Rubin. This is the Core Connection. And I go live here each weekday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern on the Enlightened World Network Facebook page and YouTube channel. Rosalind says, not spending time trying to conform to others' expectations. Exactly. A plant just expresses itself, being the gardener and nurturing the soil, being kind with your internal landscape. Beautiful, Rosalind. Thank you for that. Absolutely. And to be curious and observing, right? So so appreciate you all and these opportunities to have such conversations together. So much love to you. Until next